time to do everything we need to do this evening. So, uh, okay, I was going to just say now we're being recorded. Thanks, Farah. I appreciate that. And certainly, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Commerce Committee. I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Hassan Bakruddin. I'm the chair for the Commerce Committee, and very happy to be here at our June meeting, June 17th meeting at 7:05 p.m. on a Tuesday evening. And I'd like to call the meeting to order if I can. So certainly appreciate everybody being here on time. We're going to go through very quickly our agenda. However, anyone who comes in after we've taken the roll call, I'll just acknowledge them. I'll just acknowledge that they're here, etc. Okay, because we don't want to take too much of the meeting time with that. So with that being said, please let's start with our roll call. And let's see. I'm looking at the list here. Let me go with, I'll look at my list because I think it's in alphabetical order at least. So I'll start with Farah. Please unmute and just say who you are.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Noshin Farah. I'm the Assistant District Manager for Community Board 17, and I'm going to be at tonight's meeting. If you have any questions in regards to office procedures or whatever, you can always give me a call at 718-434-3072 or shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next up, Adele. Unmute, please.
Adele Bennett, committee member.
All right. Thank you very much. We got David Boswain.
Yes, President. David Boswain, committee member. Good evening.
Nice to see you. Well, nice to hear from you again, David. Hazel Martinez.
Good evening, Hazel Martinez, committee member.
Okay. All right. George.
Good evening, all. George State, committee member.
All right. Marguerite.
Hi, good evening. Marguerite Villante, board member, committee member.
All right. Next up, we got Neil Albrick.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Neil Albrick, committee member and community board member as well.
All right, great. Nice to have you here. Sonia?
Sonia Clark, subcommittee member.
Okay. And committee member, huh?
And committee member.
Exactly. All right. And Simone Sylvester.
Good evening, committee, community board member.
All right. All right, Simone. Thanks for being here, by the way, as well. And thank you guys for going through that exercise. So like I said, as people come in and they get on board, I'll acknowledge. I'll do this one real quick. Khadija, since you just joined us, could you go ahead and unmute, and if you don't mind? Khadija?
What happened?
Could you unmute yourself? And we're taking roll call, so just unmute and identify yourself for the record.
Oh, Khadija Oluo, community board member.
All right, nice to have you here. All righty. So I'm going to see if I can jump right into the chairperson's report, because there are a few things I want to go over with folks very quickly. And we'll stop at that, after my chairperson's report. And you guys have any questions, we can take them at that point. But I'm kind of, it's kind of weird that the year has shot by so quickly, guys. I can't believe we are in the month at our last official Commerce Committee meeting. And certainly, I want to tell the committee really how appreciative I am of the committee, as well as the subcommittee, appreciative I am of all of your input in the time that you spent this year, making sure that not only we support our business community, but also that the community interest is safe and always on point. And I think that's really, really key. I want to thank you guys for doing that. You did an awesome job, and under very difficult circumstances too sometimes, and some very controversial things as well. But with the Commerce Committee, we never shy away from that. I think we got, there's a large feedback. Somebody's got, yeah, okay, thanks. But I wanted to make sure, I said that to you guys and how much I appreciate all of the work you guys put in this year and everything and continue to put in. I leaned on you a lot heavily as well. So I have to say that you guys have shown a lot of resilience, and thank you so much for your support and making everything that we did this year successful, whether it was our on-site visits, whether we were putting out information to the community about our newsletter or the small business spotlight, any of the functions that we had, or anything that we partnered with other people to do. You guys were there as much as you can do it, and I appreciate that. Really, I do. So just wanted to mention that. So I just wanted to go into some of the things that we have completed for June. We completed our Commerce Committee newsletter, which I think I sent out to all of you guys. You've gotten it. These things come out every month. It's just a series of stories that we have that support, well, not really support, but it's to inform our small business community about things that are happening within our community, and sometimes also throughout New York, and sometimes it's a federal issue. So I try to make sure that we get it out and get that information out to not only the Commerce Committee, but also our small business owners. We completed the Small Business Spotlight for this month, for June, which you guys have probably seen that as well, because I know I sent it out. And I know that Farah has sent it out as well for Bunun Restaurant and Sweet Sunday. I had the pleasure of actually attending Bunun's grand opening that they did, which was amazing. It's a second location. Beautiful space. You guys should go and see it. I think they're at 1248 Flatbush Avenue. I think that's where they are. And Sweet Sunday is on Beverly, right off of Beverly and Nostrand. And some of you guys went to that with when we did the walkthrough as well. So we put those two out there. And then we have the Small Business Resource Fair, which I sent the flyer over to you. 2025 that we are partnering with. We're pleased to be partnering, or at least was able to be partnering, or at least added to be partnering with the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, the Small Business Services, New York City Small Business Services, New York Business Solutions, Flatbush Nostrand Bid, Councilmember Farah Lewis, and the Flatbush YMCA. So that's something that we were talking about doing with, at K&L Manor, and we were trying to work it out where we were doing it, incorporate the mayor's office as well, but that didn't sort of work out too well. And then I know that there was some issue at K&L Manor, so that kind of nixed some things. But we were able to and was able to be pulled into being partnering with this small business resource that was actually put on, I think, by the Brooklyn Chamber. So they wanted to make sure that we brought all of the partners in that sort of help support the small business community. So that's going to be on June 25th. And it's going to be the Flatbush Y, which is 1401 Flatbush Avenue. And that is from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. We will probably have a table there. I think we should. If you're going to be a partner, you should at least have a table. So I will speak to Farah and Miss Fraser about the possibility of that. I'll make sure that there's a table. Usually the Flatbush Y has their own table, so we would just be bringing our stuff, whatever stuff we have. But we can talk about that a little bit more offline. And then we have we have the Commerce Committee calendar. Remember, guys, we talked about doing a calendar at the beginning of the year in September. I don't know if you remember that, but it was one of our, I forgot, I don't even remember who had brought that up. Khadijah, it might have been you. I'm not even sure, but it might have been somebody who brought up the idea of having a calendar where we can post our businesses on that calendar. And it kind of got pushed to the wayside, and I finally kind of finished it, adding some of the businesses in the community. I will absolutely send that out to you guys as soon as we finish our meeting tonight, so you guys take a look at that. If you think we should change it or add some things, we can do that. But we only have 12 months, so we're only featuring one business per month on that calendar. So we use the Small Business Spotlight as the sort of flyer that goes into that area that talks about the business and their background and all of that. So that's something that's pretty cool. The small business spotlight for July 2025 would be Sweet Catch BK and Dijon, both restaurants are on Nostrand Avenue. And I'll send those over to you guys and have a take a look at them as well. And then we really should be working on East Flatbush Restaurant Week, which I'm hoping that we can squeeze in a meeting of the Commerce Subcommittee meeting to sort of shore up that event. And it's in lieu of actually us doing the Sumptuous Sampler event as well. That's something that what I found this year talking with our small business owners, because of the essentially because of the climate that we're in with the federal government and the tariffs on some of the food and all that kind of stuff, beverages that are being brought in. It wasn't a good year for the businesses to be able to participate in that. Hi, Celia, Miss Bellin. So I wanted to make sure. Oh, hi, Adele. Yes, Adele was the one who mentioned the calendar. Awesome, Adele. So I wanted to make sure that we didn't tax them anymore. I know that I had brought the idea to. I brought the idea to Footprints Restaurant, and they kind of declined doing that for this year for that reason, because they have like 6 or 7 locations. In addition to some other businesses I had broached too. So it was just not a good year for that. But what I think we could do, and this is something that I think would help the businesses along, is promote East Flatbush Restaurant Week, which what we can do is have the businesses participate in that, where they would be sending us their discounts, or at least they would agree to participate in East Flatbush Restaurant Week, number one, and then what they would send in their discounts, whether that's coupons or discounts off of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever they decide to do for that week, and then the community can go in, and each week we would put out a small business spotlight piece specifically for that location, indicating a little bit about pretty much what we do for the month, but also indicating in there, which we've done in the past, the actual specific discount that they're giving, and what we would send that out to the community as well throughout that week, and post that on our newsletter and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty exciting stuff. So for those more senior Commerce Committee members, you guys have seen this before. We do things pretty well. So I'd love to be able to have a quick subcommittee meeting and talk about the number of businesses who have agreed already to do that, and then put the flyer together, and then start making our calls, as far as start divvying up the call sheet, where we can maybe and what we had it last time is that each Commerce Committee member got maybe 1 or 2 businesses that they called directly and got their discounts that they're going to be having for that week and that kind of thing. So it's a really good event, and we promote it, and we also include we also have included in the past the press, where we've actually gone to the location, and the press has agreed to go out to the location during East Flatbush Restaurant Week and interview the actual business owners on the spot, make a big deal of it and that kind of thing. So we're hoping to get all that together and make a big thing of it. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that as well. But I think that is all I have in a nutshell. I apologize that it was a bit long, and I just wanted to make sure I got through that piece as well. So are there any questions before I move on? Okay, hearing none. I don't hear any questions. That's fantastic. So I just wanted to acknowledge I have Miss Celia Bellin, who has arrived on as well. Neil's already there. And there's a 718 number ending in 77. Can that person identify themselves, please, for the record?
Oh, good night. This is Cheryl from Antigua. I'm calling from Antigua. I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, okay. Oh, Cheryl. Okay. Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Thanks for being here. And you calling from Antigua? Oh, boy, you are amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. All right. Awesome. So since there are no questions, I'm going to go right into the approval. First of all, let's see, do we have quorum as of yet? Farah, do we have quorum?
No, we do not have quorum.
We do not have quorum. Okay. Deidre Lavelle?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Okay, great. So I just wanted to make sure that you identified yourself for the record. And you go ahead. You can say you're a committee member.
Yes,
Community
I'm a
member.
committee member and also
Yes.
a business owner on Ocean Avenue. And my name
Gotcha.
is Deidre Lavelle.
Gotcha, Mr. Bell. Okay, awesome. Great. So we don't have quorum quite yet, so we'll have to pause a little bit on that. Okay, so we were expecting a number of our businesses to be on. Now, I don't think that they are on yet, right? So we have to pause on the approval of the minutes and wait on that. But I'll state this for the record. Swig BK Inc., which was on our agenda, guys, for this evening, is not going to be attending our meeting tonight. I think Farah had mentioned that they had the owners had some problem that they were dealing with, so they would not attend our meeting, but they would attend perhaps in September. So that's fine. But we have Lips Cafe, and our Lips Cafe, Jermaine or Donna, are you on the line? Lips Cafe, okay, they're not on the line. And do we have anyone from La Unique Ltd? No? Okay. Silver Chicken and Seafood? No. Did they I wonder, did they respond that they were coming in, Farah?
No, none of the businesses, I sent the email out. They didn't
Okay.
respond to any of the emails, and when I called them, they didn't pick up the cell either. So I haven't been able to get in touch. And the silver one, that one came in yesterday too.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. And then we have the Women's United Alliance, the cannabis application didn't respond either?
No, he didn't respond.
Okay.
I sent the email and I called him. He also came into the office too, saying that he
Okay.
wanted to be a part of this, but
Okay. And nobody from Aunts and Uncles, which is the dining out application. Did they respond either?
nope, they did not respond.
Wow. Okay. So I'm kind of surprised, especially with Lips and Aunts and Uncles. They directly across the street from each other. If I sent you their information, Farah, could you call both of them? Because I'm really surprised that they're just not on here. Because usually
I'm
one
gonna
of them
call all the applicants except for the Swig BK to see what the situation is and maybe resend the link if they lost it or whatever.
Right.
Hopefully we can get this situated. Just give me a minute.
Okay. Do you have their numbers?
I have it on the application, whatever phone number is on their application.
Okay. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, committee. I'm going to send you the cell phone numbers for both Lips and and Aunts and Uncles. Okay, those are the two I have in my phone, so I'll send that to you just right now. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Thought this was hang on a little bit. My apologies. I think there must have been something going, because I don't see any of these guys coming, which is a little unusual. So you can talk amongst yourselves while I send this to her just for a minute, okay? Okay. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm going to send one more. Okay, sorry. All right, and okay. Okay, great. All right, sorry guys. I just had to make sure I sent those two over to Farah. So, oh, any questions, comments, or anything? Just wanted to, while we are here.
Well, can we just move on to the rest of the meeting and with old business and new business and stuff?
We could.
I think we should.
We could. A quick question. I just want to make sure that we have, and we still don't have quorum. It doesn't look like right now. But maybe we could vote on our minutes. It doesn't look like we still have that yet. I think we are one shy.
Excuse me, Hassan, could I ask a question?
Oh no, we do have quorum. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Who's that? Cheryl?
Sure, yes.
Hi, Cheryl.
Do you think that the reason, yes, do you think the reason why we don't get a better reception and presence of our businesses because of the WebEx? It's really impossible to deal with this, especially if they're new to join us. And yeah, so have any of them ever made comments?
Well,
but has anybody made that?
Yeah, we had a problem last month where two of the businesses who were supposed to be on there, I think D Garden was one of them, and I can't forget the other one. It was and D Garden is a renewal application, and the other business was a new business, but they were unable to get onto the meeting for whatever reason.
Right.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the link
I could
wasn't
believe
working
that.
properly.
Well,
yeah, it was nuts. It was
it's
nuts.
impossible for newbies who don't have it and to try to get on. And if they didn't hassle with it for a day or two or a couple of hours, so that's maybe that's something that we need to address. Maybe the other committee members may not have as much problems, but we have people, the businesses that come, time and time again, and they're new and they're going to be blocked.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That makes a lot of sense. I agree with you 100%. I'm not a fan of WebEx, as I told you guys in the past, and I say that at every meeting. I am very comfortable with things that work. Hi, Maytal, how are you? And I've worked with Teams and I've worked with WebEx, but it's never been great overall. I've worked with Zoom. Those are things that are more reliable. WebEx is very unreliable and it's just not good. So, I mean, it's just one of those things, but I'm hoping that when we go into the new season, and our next for 2025, 2026, that we could probably look at using another platform, because this is just horrible. It really is. It's not the best at all. It's probably one of the worst ones. People have problems getting in. People have problems staying in. It's spotty. It's just, it's just not good. So I agree.
Yeah, I agree with her, because I don't know if you noticed, this is George, that I got knocked out and I had to come back in.
Right.
Yeah,
tonight?
Tonight.
Oh, well, I didn't notice that, George.
I got knocked out. I had to come back and log back in.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know what's happening there, but it's just, but we're gonna have to do something about that for next year, for sure. And that's one of the things that we have to make sure that we have. If we're gonna have our Commerce Committee meeting, and it's important for us to make sure that we have it in a forum, in a manner that our small business owners can be involved in, where they don't have problems logging in and all of that kind of stuff.
Easy
Yeah,
access, that they have easy access.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Mhm.
right. Yeah,
Well,
exactly right.
what's wrong with the young folks?
I don't know. I don't know, but it's just one of those things. But I don't know. Sorry. It may tell. Are you, could you unmute yourself and just identify yourself for the record? May tell. Oh, you're okay. Can you unmute yourself so we can hear from you, because you are part of this. You're the cannabis license this evening, right? Okay, because are you not able to unmute? Because we need to have you unmuted so we can have a conversation. This is all part of the process. Okay, great. She's going to log back in. So the cannabis license is on. So she probably just got on. And that's Maytel Cohen's Women's Alliance. She's they're on our agenda this evening as a cannabis license. It's actually Women's United Alliance LLC. I think that's what they call themselves. So we'll wait to have her come back in. So as we wait for her come back in, I'm really surprised that these businesses didn't reply. And yeah, that's not good. It's not a good thing. So either way, we do have, I'm looking at the list here. We do have quorum, actually. We've got 14 of our members that are on here. So we absolutely do have quorum. So I'd like to go in and see if we can approve our minutes for May and May 2025. And first of all, have all of you guys received the minutes? Have you received them and have you read the minutes?
I received my minutes. I read them.
Yes.
Okay, so does that mean everybody has? I'm assuming everybody has.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, so with that being said, if you have received them and have read them, can I get someone to make a motion to accept? I'm sorry, are there any corrections to our minutes? I guess that's the other thing I should ask before we do that. Any corrections to our minutes? Okay, great. No corrections to the minutes. So with that being said, can I have a motion to accept our minutes for May of 2025? Someone make a motion for that.
I make a motion to accept the minutes. Marguerite.
Okay. Anyone second that?
George stays second.
Okay, great. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. We have, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we have Maytel Cohen Women's Alliance. Are you guys, I see you're back in, but are you able to unmute yourself? Are you able to unmute? Women's United Alliance, LLC. I see that you're still on. Farah, is there any way for you to unmute Maytel
I can
Cohen?
request for her to be unmuted on my
Okay.
end, but I think in the meanwhile, another business just joined.
Okay.
Hey, how
Great.
you doing?
Hi. Good evening. Who's this?
This is Rich Cafe.
Hey, is this Jermaine?
Yes, this is Jermaine.
Hey, Jermaine. Hassan Bakrdeen here. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So we are here tonight, sir. We're waiting for you guys to get on.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, the person who answered the emails told me it's either I join the call today or come tomorrow. Like, they didn't say and. So I was like, I'm just gonna come tomorrow. Yeah, like
Oh,
that's
okay.
what happened. Yeah.
No. It's the process is that, and the proper process is you come before the Commerce Committee meeting, and then if we obviously we take a vote during that after we've deliberated and spoke to you, and if we recommend you move forward to the full board, which is tomorrow, then that's when you that's the process, But
Okay.
you have to
Yeah,
come
sorry
before our
about.
committee, and that's
Okay.
that's fine. That's cool. I know it's been a little bit.
Yeah. I
So
would have definitely been on the call at 7. I just didn't know. Sorry.
yeah, no problem, no problem. But I want to thank you, sir, for being on the call this evening, and certainly we are in the portion of the businesses talking to our Commerce Committee. So I'd love for you, sir, if you don't mind, for those new members who have not frequented your establishment, our committee members, that is, could you tell us a little bit about your business? And certainly, I know that you are looking for a renewal for your liquor license, your liquor license. So just tell us a little bit about your business and that kind of thing.
How you guys doing? My name's Jermaine Weeks. I have I own Lips Cafe with my mom. We do it together. We're from the neighborhood. I'm from 35th and Church. So it means the world to me that we're able to build this space here that I feel like has become a part of the fabric and the community that we're in. We do a lot of, we mostly function like a creative workspace, so people come here, they get a lot of work done, try to progress in whatever way they do, whether that's, in school or working or doing something, in their artistic endeavors. But we also do events, a lot of events like, book drives, shoe drives, back to schools, and we do caterings a lot of different places, and we just try to be a space where a lot of people can feel comfortable and a lot of people can feel like they can also get their ideas out and have events here, and hopefully, their ideas come to reality here, and it gives them their wherewithal to keep going and growing what they're doing. I see so many people do events here and then it grows into like bigger things. You'll see somebody do something here and now they're in Apollo, so all that is like really dope and gratifying to see, and it makes it feel really good here. And we try to make it like a family space, and yeah, that's kind of like Lips Cafe.
Absolutely. Guys, it sounds like someone else has their phone unmuted, so if you can just mute yourself. Yes, sir, go right ahead. Did you mute yourself?
Me?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yes, sir. You go right ahead, Jermaine. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I kind of like had stopped.
Oh, okay. You finished pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, I'm very familiar with your location. I've been there. We've done events there and that kind of thing. So I'm going to open it up to the Commerce Committee to certainly ask any questions that they have that are relevant. And before they do that, just for the record, we always ask for what we call a incident report. An incident report, really, it's and we request that from the 67th precinct, just to make sure that there are no problems or issues or anything that the committee's not aware of or the community should be aware of. And sometimes even the business owners may not be aware of it. But it's just a report, and we do it from obviously the time that we from June of last year to June of this year, and there are no incidents at your location. Have been no reports.
Yeah, I was about to say, if anything has happened, I don't know about it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But there are no incidents. There are no incidents. I can tell you that. So, and certainly, I just want to make sure that the committee knows that as well. So, committee, this is your opportunity to ask Mr. Jermaine Weeks questions that you'd like to at this point. Go right ahead and unmute yourself. There are no questions for Mr. Weeks?
Is this a renewal for a full liquor license or beer and? I don't remember what the.
It's a full liquor license.
Yeah, liquor, wine, beer, cider as well. So.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Okay, Adele, go right ahead.
Yeah, remember we agreed for that vetting form to be filled out. Did they fill it out?
Oh yeah, I really I filled that all out, so I was gonna send it to you guys, definitely.
Yeah.
Is it up to date?
Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna like send it over. I was doing it. I want to make sure it was good, so I'm doing it all now.
Yeah, I mean current to date, meaning 25.
I can't. It's kind of breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, Adele. Say what you said again. I could barely hear that.
Did he fill the current cashier out up to date?
I think is it
He's just gonna say it's
the
up to date. I don't know what he said.
We're up to date.
Is what up to date?
The form that I got last week. The form I got last week.
Yes, I guess it would be that.
Yeah, I'm sending that. I'm gonna send that in the morning. I'm sending it all over every day in the morning.
Man, this will do that before you come.
I'm not really hearing that. Do you guys hear that?
Say that again. Adele, in all fairness, I know his application came over. Hang on a second. I know in all fairness, his application did come over last week. And what we try to do is give them a couple of days to respond and get it back to us so we can review it.
Yes.
And I hadn't gotten it yet, but he said he's going to send it over, so I'm going to take him at his word.
I'm not getting like the right information because from there's something where like I had until next week. I don't know. So I was making sure everything was filled out. I'm sending everything over in the morning. But I thought they told me that I had till next week.
No. Normally what we do is when we send it out, we try to make sure. Adele, come on, you guys have to give me 1 second because I can't talk and hear you. So if what we try to do is when we send out the application, right, the questionnaire for you to fill out, typically what we do is give you a few days to send it out, right? But I know that their applications have come in even up until today. Applications came in over and they didn't have enough time to do it. So I'm giving them a little bit of grace. As long as we get it tomorrow, we should be okay. In light of the fact that there are no issues or anything.
Hassan, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can I just make just because I don't know who this gentleman spoke to, but if if there's different people in the office giving different information, that could be what's confusing him. Does everybody in the community board office have that information that we're now doing it a certain way?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, both. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All the I can say this as someone who is in the staff. Currently, I have been the only person in the board office for the past week and a half. So any phone calls would have been through me, and I don't believe I ever told anyone to.
No. I know.
But I mean, I'm sure it was maybe a miscommunication. Maybe it was worded incorrectly, but yeah.
No, this has nothing to do with you guys. I was saying the person who handles my emails. Yeah, not you guys. No, I was saying they told me I had till next week, but I'm filling out and I'm making sure you guys have it first thing in the morning. That's a guarantee.
Gotcha. No problem. Not a problem. Any other questions for Mr. Weeks?
Yes.
I see that. Yeah, go ahead, Adele.
Since we don't have that information to review, I'm going to have to ask the questions like we used to. Does he have
go right ahead.
The current information regarding to the fire codes? Any violations?
No.
They're on for me, but yeah, go ahead, Mr. Weeks.
Okay. That's from Mr. Weeks. And you said police reports are good?
Yep. There was no incidents from June of last year until June of this year. There were no incidents.
And Department of Health code, any violations?
Yeah, we've had some violations, but as of right now, we have no violations. We have A, and everything's good with them. But in the past, yeah, we've had a violation. Yeah, we corrected everything.
All right. Well, I hope you submit that information also.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Weeks? Yes.
Hi, I'm Maytal Cohen's husband. Her phone isn't working as of now, so I had to call in for some odd reason.
No problem. Okay, can you hold on just a second, sir? We're just trying to finish up with
Of
the with
course.
Mr. Weeks here.
Sure,
Okay.
no problem. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure
No,
it was working. Sorry.
absolutely, absolutely, no problem. Okay. Any other lasting questions from Mr. Weeks, guys? All right, hearing none. Thank you so much, Mr. Weeks. I appreciate you going through that exercise. If you just hang out a little bit, we will be taking a vote as a committee to essentially move you along in this process, that kind of thing. All right, so just hang out a little bit.
Okay.
If there are any
No
additional
problem.
questions, we certainly will. You're on the line, so we can definitely ask you as well. Okay,
Okay.
but thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah, I'll just mute myself unless I hear my name.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Okay. Okay.
And I just want to quickly acknowledge also Trisha. Can you unmute yourself and identify who you are, just for the record?
Good night, everyone. My name is Trisha Lewison, the bylaws chair and the first vice chair currently in interim.
Thank you very much.
Community board.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Awesome. So, okay, great. So I wanted to make sure that can Ms. Maytel Cohen?
Hey, I'm the husband.
Okay. Yes, sir. So you are so you're here tonight. Are you in representing your wife?
I'm
or you just
representing my wife,
allowing her to
yes.
use the phone?
Her phone isn't allowing her the volume. She's watching this and she could type in the chat, but she's just not able to unmute her phone. Like her phone isn't allowing her to give the audio. I guess like it's a security block or something, and she clicked no to begin with. So she tried to restart her phone and it's just headaches. So I called in representation of her. I know most of the information anyway.
Okay. So So and what's your name, sir, for the record?
Daniel Cohen.
Daniel Cohen. Okay. And you're representing Women's United Alliance LLC.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so if you don't mind, sir, just for the record, can you take us through essentially, what your type of business? Go through a little bit about what you guys are trying to do there, so the committee could get some background on this piece as well.
Sure. So basically, we applied for the New York State cannabis dispensary license way back in, I think we did it in like last November 2 years ago. And we went through all the steps. And as everybody knows, OCM nowadays, they're just backed up like crazy, and they've been just stringing us along for like years. So now we finally got our turn, and I guess we're trying to move forward. So we have a location on 1370 Ralph Avenue. It's we had the location prior. We used it as a warehouse. We were using it like for our our online retail business. And we figured since we have that location, we would just turn that into the retail dispensary, and the location was approved. And now we're just going through the steps, I guess, to finish with to finish the whole thing.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit more about the type of things that you guys will be selling and that kind of thing? And then, of course, after you've done that description, I'll open it up to the committee to ask any additional questions as well.
Sure. So as far as what we're going to be selling, everything that is legal in the state of New York from the Office of Cannabis Management. And that's basically, they don't really give you an open range of what to sell. They just give you what you can sell. They give you the list of what you could sell, what products, what distributors, what vendors. So there's not really much difference between me and another dispensary in Brooklyn. So that's as far as what we're gonna sell. Like there's not really a way that you can be different from what I realized. And that's about it. Well, what was the other question? I missed the other question.
No, that was the question. I mean, you answered it, so it's fine. Well, I'll open it up to our committee members to begin asking these questions. So, committee members, certainly you have an opportunity to be able to do that. This gentleman, Daniel Cohen, is representing Women's United Alliance LLC.
Women's United Alliance. Yes.
Sorry, yeah, you're right, exactly, yes. Any questions?
Yes.
Hassan, I have a question, but it's not directly related to the gentleman. It's related to us. Did the form that we have, is that set up for cannabis licenses too, or is it just questions for liquor licenses?
No, it's questions for liquor license. We're gonna do a form for a cannabis licenses. Since what was pressing, what took priority was obviously making sure that we did the SLA questionnaire. I think that was important to get out first.
Right.
But we don't have a questionnaire we have not gotten a questionnaire specifically yet for cannabis.
Okay, we should probably work on that, right?
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have any questions for gentlemen.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Mr.
Yes.
Cohen?
Hi, this is
I
David.
have a few questions.
I have a few.
Sure.
So who goes first?
Who's speaking? First of all, ask Khadija.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, Khadija, you go right ahead.
Okay, so the first question I have is, what was the reasoning behind the name of the company? The second one is 1370 Ralph Avenue. Was that once a nightclub? Is that still a nightclub? And then
The
you
nightclub is
mentioned
above.
nothing
You're talking about Bentley. It's above.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with us.
But isn't there something in regards to nightclubs and actually selling in the same space?
Not our location was approved from the Office of Cannabis Management, so it's an approved location. I don't think it makes a difference because our hours won't intertwine. I mean, I think that guy's open only on the weekends and occasionally during the week, but he opens at like 11 o'clock. According to Office of Cannabis Management, we're only going to be allowed to be open until 9 p.m. if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, and in regards to your security, you mentioned nothing about it.
I wasn't sure if there was a question on security. What do you mean? I didn't hear the question.
How are you gonna keep the neighborhood safe with you selling and dispensing?
Well,
what security measures are you going to have for your location?
On staff at all times, we're gonna have 2 security guards. We're gonna have buzzers. All this is basically OCM, Office of Cannabis Management, gives us a blueprint of how they want the actual dispensary to be built out, and we go based off what they say. So, but added to that, we're gonna add more security guards. That's number 1, and number 2 is we're gonna have buzzers at the door, and pretty much that's about it. Like, there's not really much I can. Again, it's a cookie cutter operation when it comes to the Office of Cannabis Management. They don't want you to change what they have going, what their process is. It's very hard to get something to change with them because they have their ways and they did their research and they want what they want. So I can try to do anything else. Like if you guys have any suggestions, I would be open to it. But again, I would have to get that approved by the Office of Cannabis Management, which is, if I'm telling you I'm waiting for 2 years just to get it for them to respond to me on anything, that's what it's been.
Sure. I think
and then also the last question is that you're bringing this into this community. What exactly are the benefits for this community to actually have you in here?
None.
Adele, please. Okay. Go right ahead, sir.
So the benefit to the community is I can sit here and I can tell you that we're going to give back and we're going to do this. I'm going to do as much as I could do to actually give back to the community. I mean, as far as like, again, it's a very thin line with OCM of I can't really advertise the business to donate to a kid's school and to do all this, but we're in the community and like, there's not much I don't want to lie to you. I want to tell you the truth. I want to be honest with you. So we're going to give as much back as we can possibly give.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear everything that you're saying, but for the fact that you've been in this community for so long and you can't even name or mention anything that you've done prior or that you plan on continuing, it's a little disheartening.
I haven't done any business though. There's no business being done. I've just been paying rent for a vacant place. Like I haven't been in business in that location at all. I haven't done anything there. I've been just paying rent for the last 2 years.
Okay. I'm done.
All right. Thank you, Khadija. And next, these are the people who I'm going next. You got Adele. David has his hand up. Hazel, George. Khadija, can you put your hand down if you don't mind? Thank you very much. I think that's what we got. All right. So Adele, you go right ahead, please.
I apologize.
Right ahead.
That building has issues with the Department of Buildings. And as far as I know, it has not been cleared up. In fact, they had a do not enter on that building.
So on that building,
last time I checked, they were doing illegal work on that building. That comes from the Department of Buildings. Anybody can
sorry, you
pull
broke
that
up.
up.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit, Adele. What did you say?
Remember I sent you some information from the Department of Buildings, Hassan?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
was it for this location?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I have to look at it.
Building.
Yeah, I have to look at it. I haven't looked at it. I apologize.
I'm glad you asked that, Adele. I'm so glad you asked that question.
Because I walk by that building quite often. And there's many issues.
Yes, so I'm glad you asked the question. So I'm going to respond. So basically, once we get the approval, we're going to dump a ton of money into that location. We're going to fix all the building violations. We're going to do everything to get that building up to code. Just prior to that, I didn't want to fix the building. We didn't want to do anything to the actual building because it's not my building, and I didn't have an approval. So there wasn't much for me to do as far as taking care of the building itself. We're gonna pull permits. We're gonna do all the construction. We're gonna do everything necessary to get the building up to par when the time comes. But I can't do anything.
I understand that it's just your floor. It's upstairs where Bentley is. There's many problems with that building.
So I'm familiar with the DOB biz, the back end, and I see all the violations and I see all the things that need to be corrected. Majority of it is the side of the building and the first floor. So we're familiar. Thank you for asking the question. We're familiar with everything. I'm just waiting on an approval just so we could get to work. I can't invest the money into a property that I've just been paying a discounted rent for the building and the thing. I'm not gonna fix the building unless I'm not gonna take a risk. I don't want to take a risk because if I'm not gonna get approved on the location, I'm not gonna put money into the building.
Can I ask a question? Are you going to buy the building?
Marguerite.
Yeah,
you cannot
sorry.
ask a question
Did I just interrupt?
No, you cannot, because we have other people that are waiting to ask questions. So if you hold that, then we can get back to you. Okay. I want to make sure that we do this right as well. Thanks, Adele, for that. David, you're next up, sir.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. So what will the name of the dispensary be?
So as of now, it's Women's United Alliance.
Right, but it sounds like you're an owner of that business. Are you an owner?
I'm not an owner. I'm just very familiar because I'm helping my wife. Originally, my wife started it with her sister, and she got too overwhelming because we have 3 kids. So I got more involved, like as far as helping her with the whole process. So that's the only reason why I'm familiar. I'm not part of it. I do my own thing. I actually do construction.
Okay, so it'll be 100% owned by women. Is that correct?
Yes, no men involved.
Oh, awesome. And when did you initially apply for the license?
It was back in November of 2023.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that.
You got
it. Thanks, David. Hazel?
Okay, good evening. I have a number of questions, but first I want to say for many years, that particular building came to this board for a liquor license. We have toured inside of it, has a lot of damages, a lot of issues and problems. And I want to know For one, I thought you had to be just as impacted to get this license. At this point, has that changed? And how is that, since you are clearly not a member of this community, why did you choose this community to open up this type of business?
So like I said before, we used the location prior to this application. We were using it we had an online business, like an Amazon business, and that we were running out of that location. So we were familiar with the neighbors, we're familiar with the neighborhood. So we said, why not bring it to that location, since we have the location, we have the we know everything about the area. So we said we'll just use that location.
Because the area is very congested, and I just can't see how this would do anything to enhance it.
Gotcha.
What
Thanks,
do
Hazel.
you broke up a little bit. I couldn't hear what the question was.
No, she was just saying that the area is very congested, and that she didn't see what this business would do to the area, what you guys would be bringing to the area. So that was her.
It's gonna create jobs. It'll create jobs, and it's gonna generate some tax revenue.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. George, I know you were up. You had your hand up, sir, and then Marguerite.
Yes,
and Dorothy.
Yes, I have a couple of questions. Number one, the name Women Alliance would imply that it's a group of women, I mean, in my opinion. So I was just wondering, but so far it seems like it's your wife. Is it a single ownership, or is it a?
I have no involvement in the business. The only reason why you got me on the phone now is because my wife's phone isn't working, and I didn't want her to completely not join the meeting.
No, I understand that, but my question was like, since it's a Women Alliance, I was wondering if it's a
Women's
group of
United
women.
Alliance.
Yeah, or is it just single ownership by your wife?
Strictly women, yes.
So how many women are involved in the?
It's one woman owner, and then she has a vow to only hire women.
Okay.
Women of minority.
Yes. Okay. My other question was, you did mention, well, I got two questions. One, you mentioned that you have to close at 9 o'clock in the night.
Yes.
Is that what?
Yes.
Okay.
It
What
goes
time
by
will you be
the
opening
Office of
during
Cannabis
the day?
Management.
Yes, but what are your business hours? You mentioned that you'll be closing at 9 o'clock. So
I
are you
believe
from
it's going to
9
be
to
9 to
9
9.
or?
9 to 9, I believe,
Okay.
is what's expected of us.
Okay, and also I don't think everyone on this call is aware of what could be sold there. For instance, you mentioned that you will be selling according to the Office of Cannabis Management guidelines, but like, can you say exactly what would it be like? CBDs, gummy bears. Can you give an example of the stuff that would be sold there?
So yeah, I can give you basically a rundown of what's available for sale in a dispensary that's already open. So they have cannabis pre-rolls, they have cannabis edibles, and then I believe they have cannabis vapes. I'm not exactly sure, but those three items are more or less of what's on sale. From what I've seen, I visited a couple of them, and from what I've seen, that's what's on the menu in the stores, in the dispensaries.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Marguerite, and then Dorothy.
Yes, my question before was, are you planning on buying the building? Like, how can you put in all the money? Why would you put in all the money to fix all the violations? Why isn't the owner doing that? Or are you planning to buy the building?
I'm not planning on buying the building. I wish I had enough money to buy the building.
Yeah.
But we're comfortable with the location. That's why. I'm not at the I'm trying to think of the best words to say it. So I spoke with the landlord, and we're in a negotiation basically. So like, The second I'm approved is the second I get to be able to work and pull permits on the location, and then I have to figure out another deal with him. So I'm gonna be incentivized from the landlord himself as well for the construction to bring his building up to par.
Okay, so you're working with the landlord.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to clarify, but somebody asked a question before about Bentley's. Bentley's has nothing to do with us. They're on the second floor. I have nothing to do with Bentley's.
Okay. Okay. All right. And Dorothy.
Yes, I have a clarifying question. In your intro, you mentioned that you got permission to use the building. Was that permission from the landlord?
I'm sorry, what was the question again? I got
Okay.
permission from whom?
Right. In your intro, you said that you already got approval to use the space. I was just wondering,
Yes,
is there approval from the
from the
landlord?
Office of Cannabis Management. Office of Cannabis Manager.
Okay. And then the other question is, when asked what's going to be in the space, what are you selling? You don't know what you're going to sell. You're just going to sell what other people are selling? Because you're saying like you're saying that you went to other places and they're selling XYZ, so that's the kind of things you're going to sell. So in terms of having the business, you don't know what your wife's going to sell because you're representing her.
So like I said before, there's not much difference you can do in a dispensary in New York State because it's governed by the Office of Cannabis Management. I can't pick and choose what to sell in the store. It has to be under OCM guidelines. It's a cookie cutter type of a place because I don't have free range with what I could sell or what I can't sell. I can only sell what Office of Cannabis Management brings to the table that I could sell, you understand?
Okay.
Everything being sold in these dispensaries and hopefully the dispensary that we're going to open, it has to be tested through the state. So that's why it's not a free range. It's not like your average smoke shop. Like it's not like the deli that's on the corner over there by Farragut, I believe, that just sells average weed and like untested marijuana. We're going to be a licensed dispensary selling quality products from the Office of Cannabis Management from the state of New York.
Okay.
Each product that we have is you're going to be able to track it from seed to store.
All right. Great. Well, does that answer his question? Dorothy?
Yes and no, but it's all right. I have enough information. Thank you.
Okay. And Simone, I think it was Simone Sylvester was the last question here. Everybody else, could you guys, the ones who've already asked questions, could you just lower your hands? But go ahead, Simone.
So I'm just curious, maybe I'm not understanding. Why is it that you're pulling the permits and not the landlord? I mean, it's just something right. I'm sorry.
As the occupant of the building, I'm gonna have to pull the permits.
Not the landlord?
No. I'm gonna do the construction, so I have to pull the permits.
Okay, so it's something you may want to just, I guess, look into because it's just something it's a strong move and it's a big burden on your part. It is. I work for the Department of Health, and it really.
To be honest with you, it's been a huge burden on my family. This is why I'm so knowledgeable in this whole thing. We've been sitting here for 2 years in limbo, back and forth. And it's just been costing us money left and right. So
right. So I'm just.
And I feel bad for my wife because she's the one going through it as well.
So that's unless you want to find a different site, but I just feel as though if you're pulling the permits, and at the end of the day, I think you're getting the short end of the stick, and the owner of the building.
Well, but that's how much I believe. That's how much I believe in the location. I'm willing to risk.
Much.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit. I didn't hear you.
Right. It's something I know. It's like maybe it's the site you really, really want, but if it's 2 years and you're pulling the permits, I'm just letting you know, just from experience, it's a very, very strong move. And at the end of the day, you may be I think you are getting the short end of the stick. But I just that's all I wanted to say.
Great.
I appreciate the concern.
Thank you for that, by the way. Okay, great. Well, I don't know if there are any lasting questions. I just want to make sure that we.
Hassan, I do have
I have a
two
question.
more
that?
questions.
Oh, okay.
Khadijah.
Khadijah, okay.
One question is
Oh,
there
sorry.
any
Yeah.
relationship with the owner and your family?
Absolutely none.
Okay, and then the other question, Hassan, is the dispensary that opened up, that Vaughn opened up, how far is it from this place?
That's pretty far. That's over there near. It's definitely far. It's far enough
Near
away.
Georgetown.
Yeah. Not at Georgetown. What are you talking about? It's far enough
It's near
away.
Georgetown.
Is it?
Yes, it's across the street from the mall.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's absolutely right. She's right. She's
You talking
absolutely
about
right.
Kings Plaza?
No. It's on Ralph Avenue, is where there's another dispensary that opened up. And she's absolutely right. It is across the street from a mall.
Oh, by Ralph and
but
Keaton?
it's far enough away from where he's at that it wouldn't be impacted, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
This location's already approved through the Office of Cannabis Management. That's
right.
That's why it's
right. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Mr. Cohen, but I'm just letting them know that I've been to Vaughn's place. I went to his grand opening. Believe me, it's far enough away.
Okay, thank you.
I just remember off the top of my head what the actual the address for Vaughn's place is, but I do remember it being far enough away from where he's at. I can tell you that.
And then for the husband, can you kind of speak on, because you mentioned that this is supposed to be women's only. Can you speak on what the hiring process would look like? How are you going to go about hiring people from the community?
So I think about a month prior, we're gonna have a hiring fest, and we're gonna get all the applications, and we're gonna prioritize people from the neighborhood.
How many?
That answer your question, Khadijah?
Yes and no, but okay.
Okay. I'll make the last question, Hazel. Hazel, you go ahead, because we.
Yes. I just want to say that over the years, the landlord that owns that place also owns the other place on the other side of the street, on the side of the trestle, and he has been a problem over the years. So I am concerned about, and not concerned at all about, what goes on in our community. And I mean, Bentley's is a place that has a questionable liquor license as it is, and then we're going to add this on another floor in our community for people who don't live in our community and really have no relationship to it or its residents. And I'm very concerned about that.
Okay, so that wasn't really a question. That was just okay. I'll put it
The
in.
landlord has nothing to do with us.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, I want to thank everybody for their questions. I think, and certainly, Mr. Cohen, I appreciate you going through this process. If you can hold on a little bit, sir, the committee will be going through the deliberation of voting on this to have you either come before the full board tomorrow and that kind of thing. So just hang on a little bit. Okay. And I just wanted to reach out and there's Rashid Alcine. Can you identify yourself? Which where are you from, sir? If you don't mind. We can't hear you. You got to unmute. Yeah, you got to unmute yourself.
You can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from basically I'm from Haiti.
No. I'm sorry. I mean, are you here for? I apologize. Not where you're born. I mean, are you here representing a business?
Yeah.
Are you here?
Yeah, we present Lunic.
Oh, you're Lunic. Okay, great. That's what I was trying to get at. I apologize.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get at. Yes, sir. So I know that you are here, and you are here to renew or at least get your renewal of your liquor license for your Lunic.
Correct.
Right. For liquor, wine, beer, and cider. Right.
Correct.
So, right. So if you don't mind, sir, and certainly if you could tell people a little bit about your business, our committee members who may not be familiar with you, and kind of go over what your business is and that kind of thing. And then the committee will ask you some questions. Okay.
No problems. Basically, I've been there. I have the medical license since 2003, and I've been in the area on North Strand between Clarendon Avenue D, and so far I could say like I'm doing business as usual and being a good person in the community where I'm from, where my base is at. So I don't know if there is any question for me, because just bar in a Caribbean restaurant.
Sure. Well, we definitely want to know. Well, can you, because I know the questions are going to come up. They're going to be asking you questions more about explaining your business, like is it the food, how big it is, hours of operation. I'm just trying to sort of get all of that from you ahead of time. Okay. So if you want to talk a little bit about that, you can talk a little bit about that.
Okay. When I say Caribbean restaurant, it's like all the Caribbean have different flavors.
Yeah.
Like us, we have like griot, tasso, and things like that. So, and good pickles, badam peze, black rice. You know how that goes.
Yes, sir.
And at the bar, we basically like regular bar. Like people come and sit down, listen to music and do all that. And basically that's all we got there,
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, then I will open up to the committee members. Do you have questions for Mr. Racine? Oh, Marguerite.
Yeah, I was just wondering if this gentleman got one of the forms and if he filled it out.
Yes, sir. Did you get the questionnaire that we sent over?
No, I haven't. In fact, I just found out about this meeting to my lawyer because yesterday I don't have anything, because that's why exactly I went to the place today. I thought it was like live.
Mm-hmm.
When I get there, they told me it's like it's on Zoom telephone. So
right.
I didn't have any questionnaire.
Okay. So just to clarify the question, with your application, when your application comes in, when we respond to you to come into our meetings, whether it's our Commerce Committee meeting or our General Board meeting, which would be tomorrow, we've been sending out a questionnaire, right? And the questionnaire really asks very specific questions about your business. It talks about the size of your location, how many people are seating, whether or not it's 2 means of egress. And we send that questionnaire out, right, to avoid the questions that you're going to get from the committee tonight. So that's why we send it. So it sounds to me like your lawyer got the paperwork, right? That's what it sounds to me like. And he hasn't sent, because I haven't seen anything back. And Farah, have you received anything back from La Unique yet in terms of the questionnaire?
No, I did not receive a questionnaire back.
Okay, so that has to be something that your lawyer has to fill out. If he can't fill it out, you can fill it out on you. I guess you should fill it out because it's better coming from you, because you know your business, right? More than he would know. So we have to make sure that we have that filled out at the very least by no later than tomorrow. All right. So we'll make sure that we resend it again. And if you give me your email address also, I'll include when we send it back out to you, you'll get it as well. So what's your email address, sir, if you don't mind?
Jude Lunique at
Gmail.
Jude, Jude.
Okay.
Lunique.
Sorry, is unique?
Lunique.
Okay, so Lunique. Okay. Luiquud. Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Lunique. Lunique.
Oh, okay. Okay. And anything else?
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Okay, good. Okay, great. Thank you. I just want to make sure that when we send out that, we just have to have that back no later than tomorrow. Is that okay? All right. So we'll have you fill that out and get that back to us. I think the next question in the thing. Oh, Adele, you had your hand up. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my hands.
Oh no, I'm talking about my committee member, Adele. You had a question?
Same question.
Okay.
It's about the police report.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I didn't give you guys, my apologies. I didn't talk about that beforehand. So looking at, again, we, Mr. Racine, we pull a police report, or we ask what we call an incident report from the 67 precinct. We ask that, and it's generally for a 12-month period from, June of 2024 to June of 2025. And just really to see if there are any incidents at the location. And looking at yours, there are no incidents at your location, sir. So there's nothing here. There's no 311 reports or anything. So there's nothing there. An answer to your question as well.
Okay.
And also that was actually the same for, which I found, hang on a second. I'm going back. Let me just go back really quick.
All right. You missed the cannabis place too.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
1370.
Yeah, actually, there were no incidents at this location either, according to the 67 precinct.
Okay.
As per Detective Skinner. So yes.
It's like family here.
I said it again, sir.
It's like family in there. Everybody, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah. Any other question? Oh, Marguerite, you still had your hand up, but I don't know if that was from before.
No, yeah, I forgot to ask. Actually, did you say you were in business since 2003?
2003, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, he's come before us a few times, actually, of course. And any other final questions?
Yes. Does he have food?
Sorry, say it again.
Food.
Adele, you're breaking up badly. That last piece. Say that again. I
No,
apologize.
It happens.
He's asking food is being served at the establishment.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, sorry, I could barely. Yeah, Mr. Racine, they want to know food. He just actually went through that, but is there food at this establishment?
Yes, there's food.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you went through it. I guess you must have missed it, but I thought you went through it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, I don't have any. Oh, sorry, Mr. Racine. I did have one question though. This is the last question, I promise you. In terms of the means of egress, you do have 2 exits for your location, right?
Correct.
Okay. I thought so. I just want to make sure we had that on record as well. Okay. So, Mr. Rashid, please make sure that when you get the questionnaire tomorrow, you send it over, if you don't mind, and get that back to us. You can fax it or you can email it or whatever. But we need to get that back by tomorrow, prior to if the committee votes on you moving forward to go to the general board meeting tonight. You have to make sure you get that back to us. All right. So with that being said, thank you, sir, for going through this exercise. Just hang on a minute because we're going to vote in just a second on this. I just want to make sure that did Silver Chicken and Fish and Seafood come on the line yet?
They didn't join. I gave their office a call multiple times, but it goes directly to voicemail.
Okay, I did give you Mr. Derek Silver's.
Yeah, I tried that number as well, also directly to voicemail.
No response, right? Okay, no problem. No problem. Sorry, yes, Mr. Rashid.
No, I just want to rectify that. Rashid is my son. My phone.
Oh, sorry. But it's Alcine, right?
It's Alcine.
Yes, sir. And what's your first name? Joseph.
Yes.
Joseph Alcine. Okay, great. Thank you for that correction. All right, awesome. All right. So just hang out, Mr. Alcine, and we will do our vote in just a bit. And I do believe that we have quorum right now. And you can confirm that again for me, Farah.
It seems like we have quorum now.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we had quorum. I think when you went off to make to call, but we did. So I didn't know that. That's why we were able to accept our minutes for last month. So with that being said, I just want to one last thing, as I mentioned, guys, just for the record, Swig BK Inc. will not be here this evening, so they will not be on. Lips Cafe is here. La Unique is here. Silver Chicken and Seafood, which Mr. Derek Silver is not here, so we'll move on from there. The cannabis applicant is here, and Aunts and Uncles is not here regarding their dining out application. Right? Is anybody here from Aunts and Uncles on the line? Just want to make sure I did that. Okay. All right. So with that being said, committee members, if you don't mind, we'd like to vote. And you guys know what we're voting for. Just we're voting for, the two license applications, SLA applications, which are Lips Cafe, LLC, and La Unique Limited. Those are the two SLA applications. And of course, we have the cannabis application by Women's United Alliance. So with that being said, I want to take the first two SLA applications. And if you are agreeing, obviously, in the affirmative, please say yes once your name is called. If you're not, of course, you say no. And if you're abstaining, and that kind of thing. Is that cool? All right. So let me go through what we have here. Let's start with, and so let's take the first two. If it's yes for both, then you say yes for both. If it's yes and no, or whatever, please record your vote. But Adele, for Lips Cafe and La Unique, what is your vote, please?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Miss Bellin, Celia Bellin.
Yes for both.
All right, Miss Bellin, thank you very much. And then we have David.
Yes for both.
All right. Deirdre Lovell.
Yes for both.
Okay. Great. Dorothy Gordon.
I'll say yes on both.
Hazel Martinez.
Yes for both.
Thank you, Hazel. All right. George.
Yes for both.
Awesome. Khadija.
Yes for both.
Okay, great. Thank you. Marguerite.
Yes for both.
All right.
Yes for both. You got it? Did you get me?
Yes, I got you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And then we have Neil Albrecht.
Yes for both.
Okay. Sonia. Sonia. Sonia, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. Okay, we'll come back to you. We have Simone Sylvester.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see. We have Trisha.
Yes for both.
Okay, great. I think that was, is there anyone that I did not call, committee member that is, that I did not call? No, I didn't vote. And I was saying yes for both. All right, good. So, okay, so well, I'll record those in just a second, or at least Farah, maybe you can record those if you don't mind. All right, so we're moving on to the cannabis application, which is the Women's United Alliance, LLC, okay? And certainly, if you don't mind, please record your vote, either yes, no, or abstain. And we'll start off with Adele.
No.
Okay. Miss Bellin?
Yes.
Okay. David?
Yes.
Deirdre?
Yes.
Okay. Dorothy?
No.
Okay. Hazel?
No.
Okay. George?
I abstain.
Okay. Khadija?
No.
Okay. Marguerite?
Abstain.
Okay. Neil?
Yes.
All right. Sonia? Sonia? Okay, we'll go past Sonia because she's not on. Simone?
I abstain.
Okay. Chris?
Abstain.
What?
Okay. And okay, I think we got. Did I have called everybody except for
You
myself?
need to vote Mr. Bacardine, yeah.
Yeah, and I based on what I've heard, I have to say and vote no.
Yes, I did.
Vote no. So okay, so if you don't mind, have you tallied? Can you tally the votes if you don't mind, Farah?
Yeah, I have them tallied.
You
Do
do.
you want to
Okay,
hear?
great.
Do you want to
Yeah,
call out for Sonia Clark one more time?
yeah. Sonia, are you? If you're speaking, we can't hear you. Just for the record, if you're able to put your vote in the chat, it's okay. But we've been trying to get you on the horn for your vote. So Sonia, are you on the line still? Ms. Clark? I guess not. So let's move on then.
Okay, so I can give you guys the votes now. Lips Cafe, 13 yeses, 0 no's, 0 abstentions. L Unique.
Sonia's coming on in a second.
Okay, so say that. So okay. So but is
Do you
she?
want me to wait on her before I give out the vote?
Hello?
Hi Sonia, are you on?
Sorry, yes, I'm hosting 2 other meetings, so I am so
Oh, no
sorry.
problem. No problem. No
So I
problem.
have to
So
abstain because I did not hear the information on the last one. I'm sorry.
okay.
So
So
I
you're
don't want
abstaining from. Are you abstaining from all of them, or are you just abstaining for
the last
lip?
one.
Oh, so it's Lips Cafe that we're voting on now. We're voting
Okay.
for Lips Cafe and La Unique. So
So I will vote yes for Lips. Unique, I didn't hear all of Unique's the questions and the responses. So I
okay,
don't,
gotcha.
yeah,
And you'll abstain from that. Okay, good.
yes.
Oh, no problem. Okay. And are you also, what about the cannabis application?
No,
Okay.
that's a
All
no
right.
for me.
All right. Thank you very much. Go right ahead, Farah. I apologize.
Okay, so Lips Cafe is 13 yeses, 0 no's, 0 abstentions. L Unique
13
is 13.
sorry, you said 13 before she voted, before
Excuse me,
Ms. Clark
Hassan.
voted. Is that
Hassan,
still?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, Hassan, can you hear
Yes.
me? This is
I can hear
Cheryl.
you.
I don't know why I voted yes for the 2 other and then the last one I vote yes for. I don't know why you couldn't hear me. And so I called in again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
I'm
I couldn't hear
calling
you.
from a
So
but you couldn't hear me before.
yeah. Yeah, I could hear you before, but for some reason you were on mute. Okay, so Cheryl, you are voting yes for Lips
Yes,
and yes
I'm
for
voting
La
yes for
Unique, right?
everything. All right, I took
Oh,
myself
you're
off
voting
of
yes for
mute
everything.
and I voted yes for everything. All right. But you
Okay,
didn't
that's
hear
fine.
me
Thank you so much.
because I was
Yeah, I didn't hear
screaming.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, we
All
couldn't
right.
hear you at all. Apologies.
All right.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt Farah, so go right ahead. Yes, ma'am. So start from the
Okay.
top, Farah, if you don't mind.
With the addition of the vote just now, I guess that's 15 yeses for Lips, 0 no's, 0 abstentions. For L Unique, it's 14 yeses, 0 no's, 1 abstention. And for the cannabis application, that's 5 yeses, 6 no's, 4 abstentions.
Okay.
I counted differently. I think the Sonia lady said that she was abstaining from voting because she didn't hear the case.
No, she was talking
if I'm
about.
not mistaken.
No, she was talking about La Unique, the SLA application. She wasn't talking about you. She specifically said no to you. That's what she was saying. So
got it. All right. So
okay.
it's a no, I guess.
So it's again, run that last one back again, Farrah, if you don't mind, just for the record.
Yeah. So for the cannabis application, it's 5 yeses, 6 no's, 4
I heard
abstentions.
6 yeses.
No, you didn't hear. No,
the last one was a
5,
vote for 6. Yes.
Hassan?
No.
That would have made it 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, sir. If you don't mind.
You know what?
Mr. Hassan, yes, that would have been a yes.
We're not going to
the
do
lady
this.
said that she was voting yes for all.
Excuse me. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. All right. Everybody go on mute except for Farrah. Now, Farrah, please give us the number again for the record. And this is going to be for the record.
Okay. So for the cannabis application, it's 5 yeses, 6 no's, 4 abstentions.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. And thank you guys for that. So with that being said, and I'll work with the two SLA. I'll start with those two first. Mr. Rashid and Jermaine, I will see you both tomorrow at the general board meeting, which is 395 Lenox Road. And our meeting starts at 7 p.m. What I recommend you doing, and since both of you need to send over the questionnaire, so someone needs to go on mute. If you guys can go on mute for just, and if you can we'll send over your questionnaire, and we'll make sure that you get it again. Because we've got your email address and everything. But if you can fill that out and make sure that I have that, that would be great. This way, you can avoid a lot of the same questions that you're going through tonight. Okay, but I'm not going to hold you any longer. So, Mr. Hassan and Jermaine, you guys can go right off, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the general board meeting. Okay, I appreciate you guys going through the process.
What's the address again?
It's 395.
It's 395
Lenox Road, right?
Lenox Road.
Yeah.
It's in SUNY Downstate.
SUNY Downstate.
Okay.
Okay. We'll make sure that you get the information again. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. You don't have to hold on any longer. You go right ahead. I appreciate you being here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And Mr. Thank you so much. And Mr. Cohen, I know that you were representing your wife's business here this evening, and thank you for going through the exercise.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the committee has not approved you to move forward to.
But from what I was writing, I had 6 yeses.
No, that's not what I don't know what you had, but this is I've given you what she's taken the information, which is why I wanted to make sure it was on record.
Hassan, can I say something, please? Can I please say something? It wouldn't matter even if he had the 6 yeses. It still
right. It's not going to matter anyway. But that's not the point.
Thank you, Marguerite. Thank you, Marguerite, for that.
Yeah, but
thank you.
That's I got what you're saying, but that's not necessarily the point. The point is that I want to make sure that you understood that we have a person who takes the tally, and that's why I made sure she
So maybe I just didn't take it correctly.
For the record, okay? Because it goes into our minutes as part of public record as well. But thank you so much for being here this evening, and certainly going through this exercise. I know that there were a lot of other additional questions. I would be more than willing to at least talk to you a little bit more offline about maybe some things that you could potentially do, as far as TOB and all that kind of stuff, and then perhaps maybe have you come back before the committee. But right now, it is where it is. But thank you so much for that. I don't want to keep you any longer.
You got it, brother. You got it.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hassan, might
All
please
right.
say
Yes, sir.
something?
Yes.
Mr. Hassan, might please say something?
Hang on a second, guys. You guys, I'm going to let. Hang on a second. I'm going to let Mr. Cohen go for the evening because he's been on this phone call a long time, and then we can have a conversation.
Before he goes, I need to say something. Before he goes, I need to say something. I'd like to say what I have to say before he goes.
Okay. All right. So I'll start with George first, and then Miss Bellin second.
I had my hands up before George.
Okay, Miss Bellin, you go first.
The count is wrong. The count should be 6 for the gentleman because when the other 2 people added the vote, when Farah came on, she said 13 and then she had to be corrected and she corrected it to 15. She had to do the same thing for him because when she first came on, she said 5 for him. And then when the lady came on and she said she voted yes for everything, then she had to add that extra vote for the gentleman for the record.
Hey,
that's what I was
Adele,
saying.
please.
Thank you, Celia.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going crazy on me.
And George.
Okay, before I have said what I have to say, even if it was 6, as Marguerite said, even if it was 6 yes and 6 no, it did not carry because the abstentions plus the no's are more than the yes, according to the bylaws. Okay, but
the record still has to be right. That is wrong for you to say that. The record still has to be right. The votes have to be recorded properly. For you to say that, that doesn't make any sense.
Celia,
hang on.
Don't seal your me. Don't seal your me. You cannot say that.
Let me finish what I'm saying, please.
Yeah, hang on. Let's be respectful, everyone. We all are respectful. We should make sure that we discuss each other. We can agree and disagree, but we have to do it respectfully. Yes, George, go ahead. You were finishing.
Yes. And what I wanted to mention is that even though the committee did not vote positive for him, isn't he supposed to come to the meeting and let the whole board vote, and then the committee give the recommendation to the board, and then the whole board decide how they're voting?
Oh yes, that's a good question.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think he should be able to come tomorrow, and then we give you give the recommendation that the committee came up with, but then the whole board decide to vote and make the decision on the voting.
Right.
Okay. So let me make sure I got this right. Okay. Let me make sure I got this right. And we have done this in the past in this way. And I'm not opposed to that. Just put it on the record. I'm not opposed to bringing him forward. My question is, right? My question is, based upon a lot of the responses that we got this evening, a lot of the questions that were asked, there were some responses that that needs further investigation. Do you feel that that's a good? If you guys feel that it's a good use of having him come before the general board meeting tomorrow's time and to present, then I don't have a problem with presenting that.
Yes, I do. Could I say something, Cheryl?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I do, because as a property owner for a property owner of 8 properties, I know that tenants and landlords make agreements. So from what I was hearing from the members, is that was most of the problem, is between the relationship between the landlord and the tenant. And I really don't think that's our business, to tell you the truth. But yes, I think she should go before the board, because maybe she would get a few more yeses. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So with that being said,
Hassan, can I say something, please?
yes, Marguerite. And this is going to be, this is going to be. Hang on 1 second. I just want to make sure that we understand. This is going to be the last piece on this, and then we're going to put this to bed. Okay, Marguerite, go right ahead.
Thank you. Considering that in March, when the Commerce Committee voted no for Mr. McFadder, we still let it go to the full board, and they voted yes. So I would say in this case, we should give him the same opportunity. But I think that going forward, once the committee does its work, And we've gone through all of this, and we are not going to approve it. Then it should end there, because we don't have to go through it again at the board meeting. It's the committee's responsibility to make a decision. And after we make a decision, either we approve or don't approve, then that goes to the board. So if we have disapproved it, then that's it.
Agreed.
No,
Why
we
are we doing
gave
it
the
twice? Why are we doing
recommendation
it
to the
both
board.
twice?
But hang on one second. Hang on, guys. Hang on. We're not going to deliberate this now with our business owners
Right.
on the line.
That's all I wanted to say. We can talk about it another time.
Right. But what we
Right.
will do is, Mr. Cohen, you can have your wife come before the full board tomorrow and present to the full board tomorrow, and whereby the full board would take a vote at that point. It'll be 395, and we'll make sure we send out the email as well to and with the address and all of that. But make sure that you guys have all of your stuff ready and that kind of thing. But that is an in-person meeting. It is not a meeting that we have here online. So you absolutely have to be there. All right. But we will make sure that you get that information as well. But I want to thank the committee again for providing your insight and making sure that we give the business owners at least an opportunity to be able to present themselves again before our full board. But with that being said, Mr. Cohen, you are free to go, sir. I will see you tomorrow evening, or you and your wife, or who's going to be. If she's representing herself, she can come up and represent herself. But we get started at 7 p.m., so we'll make sure you have all that information. Okay, so you can log off if you don't mind. I guess he must have logged off already. Mr. Rashid, Mr. Alcine, you can go ahead and log off too, sir, because I see that you're still here as well. Mr. Alcine? Oh, maybe that was his son's phone, so I guess maybe he's probably logged off already. Either way, okay, great.
Chair
So guys,
Bakruddin, before we get
Yeah.
started on the next thing, I was hoping to provide a little bit more clarity on the vote. Would it be appropriate to talk about this now, or would you like to talk about this in a little bit?
no, we can talk about it now. Go right ahead.
Okay, great. I just wanted to provide some clarity to the committee because I understand it was getting very heated. Currently, we had 15 members vote on all three applications. So that's why whatever votes we have for all three applications, they need to add up to 15. That's why Lips had 15, La Unique had 14, and 1 abstention.
Right.
The women's cannabis thing cannot have 6 votes because that means 16 people voted. That's not possible. 5 people voted yes, 6 people voted no, 4 people abstained. That adds to 15. There is no magical 16th member.
Gotcha.
And-
Thank you. Thank you for that.
May I say
yes.
something? But when you first gave the count, you said 5 for the cannabis people. When the other lady came on and she said that nobody could hear her, and she then said she voted yes for all.
Miss Bellin, I
that one
understand
had
your
to be added
concerns.
to the 5 to make it 6.
No, Miss Bellin, before Miss Sonia gave her vote, the record showed 4. Then I
No, you
told
said
Chair
5.
Bach.
We're not
No,
going
Miss
to
Bellin.
argue this because I heard you and I was taking my own count here and you said 5.
There
Well,
is a
we should-
recording. We can always look at the recording. Listen to the
Yeah,
recording.
I mean, that's not a problem. I mean, we do have the recording, and it's going to be a part of public record. It'll be in our minutes as well, so that's not an issue. I honestly don't doubt Farah, and I mean, she's taken excellent recordings before when it came to our vote. It's not a pattern that she has, but I understand your concern, Ms. Bellin. Thank you so much for that. But I think to Marguerite's point, in the future, and this is something that we've deliberated about as a Commerce Committee before.
Yes.
And Hazel, you know about this. Adele, you know about this. Marguerite, you've been on the
Yes.
committee long enough to know, is that when we've had businesses come before us in the past, we have not moved them ahead to go to the general board meeting. Why? Because the committee has done their job, they've done the work, they've asked the questions and that kind of thing. Otherwise, what would be the point of the committee, right? So with that being said, that's something that we've done in the past. And I think what happened is when we had chairs that have changed over, or things have changed with different chairs on the board and that kind of thing. Certain subtle things have changed, and we allowed them to come before the board, even though the committee didn't recommend them and that kind of thing. But I've always been of the mindset that if a member comes before our committee, or a business owner comes before our committee, and we don't recommend them, or we don't move them forward to be recommended, then they don't go before the general board meeting. I just always felt it was a waste of time, honestly. I think it's just a waste. It's just a waste of time, of our time. It's a waste of the general board's time as well. But that's my feeling. I just want to make sure it was on the record for that also. So with that being said, and we can as we move into the if I'm chair for 2025 into 2026, that is something that we should adopt as a committee moving forward. We can certainly make that recommendation, or not the recommendation, but add that as a process that we have, just like we've added any other processes, and making sure that our Farah and Ms. Frazier and the chair knows what we're doing, so we can move forward with that. All right. So with that being said, I want to jump right back into our.
Can I just make a comment, please, Hassan?
Sure, you
can.
can.
Number one, I thought that we were supposed to be able to see these people on camera.
Yes.
Yes.
And we did not. And number two, when the one time you did send someone to the committee, they still got turned down because they just were not ready. So it really is a waste of time.
Right. Okay. I hear you. I'm with you. I feel you on that. I absolutely do. Okay.
Hassan,
I
want to
apologize.
Hassan, can I make a comment?
Yes, Khadija, go ahead.
Hey, listen,
go ahead, and then Adele, and then I'm gonna move. And this is on the same topic, right?
Yes, this is on. It's just the level of, I think, respect that we need to have as we're facing the public. Like the back and forth is not necessary when we're dealing with owners, because they will use that against us. If we do have these issues, we need to wait till they're off and address it, because it kind of also undermines Hassan as the chair, because if he said something and we sit here and we go back, it's for him after we have it behind closed doors, not to do it in front of the public. It's very unprofessional, and it doesn't look good for us as a whole. So I want us to be very mindful of when we do these things, to do it after.
Yep.
That's all I wanted to say.
I agree with that. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. And anybody else had a quick, I think it was one other person that wanted to speak before we move.
Yes, I want to say something. My interpretation,
yes, sir,
from having been on the board and being a former chair of different committees, it was that the committee make a recommendation. The purpose of the committee is to make a recommendation to the general board, whether it's positive or negative, and then have the whole board vote on it. And I think that's what had been done. It was done in the past. And as Marguerite brought up, Mr. My father, it's not the first time that that happened. So I think you may want to double check with the bylaws or with the chairperson, because what I remember been done in the past is that we give the recommendation to the board, and then the board decide.
Sorry, go ahead, George.
Yes, no, I was waiting for Adele to finish because she was talking. We give the recommendation, whether it's negative or positive, to the board, and then the board votes on our recommendations.
Gotcha. Yes, sir. Okay, that's cool. I got you, George.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond to
Marguerite, this is exactly why I did not want to continue to have the conversation, right? Because I knew.
When can we have the conversation? We have to
hang on a second. And I'm going to tell you why we can't continue to have this conversation tonight. Okay.
Oh
We
my
spent an
goodness.
enormous amount of time on this already. Number one, I have heard from pretty much just about everybody, with the exception of maybe Trina and Ms. Clark. So I got your feelings on it. We can deliberate this at another time. It doesn't have to be deliberated tonight. We have a few other things. We have other things on our agenda that we've
Yes.
got to get through to. So I want to make sure that we move off of this and onto that. Okay. So hold your comment. All right. Hold your comment, please. I know sometimes it's difficult, but hold your comment. All right. So with that being said, I just want to move on to our next item on our agenda, which is for unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business this evening that we need to talk about?
Yes, my hand's still up.
Okay, go right ahead.
It's in regards to a couple of bad businesses in the area, especially on Kings Highway and Church Avenue.
You have to be more specific. Adele, what are you saying?
Okay, remember when you did the walkthrough on Church Avenue, and so we're supposed to help clean, we're supposed to find somewhere to clean it up?
Yes.
When are we going to do it?
Okay, so that's a good question that you raised. I had a conversation just the other day with a gentleman who was following up from our town hall that we had with the mayor. Okay, his name was John. I think I might remember his name was John. And what he asked me was, and Hazel, this also relates to the trash and stuff and the nastiness over there as well. He was following up because I wrote down some things that I thought were problem areas, and I know that Hazel had done that as well. But he called back to follow up, and I spent probably about 20 minutes with him outlining the specific areas that were dirty and what the specific issues were in the community, in the business corridors that we had. We talked about the Clarendon Road corridor. Not only is it just the trash and the businesses not necessarily keeping their front clean. In addition to that, it's also the abandoned cars that are over there and all this stuff. So there's a number of issues that are creating additional problems over there, right? So I went through each corridor. I went through the Church Avenue corridor, the Nostrand Avenue corridor, the Avenue G corridor, the Utica Avenue corridor as well. So I actually went through each of them, and what he said was they're going to be addressing all of those corridors. I do have his information, and I can share that with you guys as well as a follow-up, because what they're trying to do is more targeted. The way he said it, and Hazel, correct me if I'm wrong, because you've been speaking to sanitation too. They're trying to do more targeted enforcement, number one, and then more targeted sanitation for certain areas, right? So essentially, if people don't complain for certain areas, the ones who complain the most, they want to target those first, right? So that's basically what he was basically saying. So this is what they're going to be doing over the next several weeks, is focusing on those areas. There's the not only just the dirties, the dumping, but we're talking about the trash containers and all that kind of stuff. So they're doing a multifaceted approach, but I did go through the list, and I will send an email out and tell you exactly. In the email, I'll send you his contact. I'll send you what he sent me, but I'll also send you the corridors that I outlined for him and what specifically those issues were. And if there's anything that I missed, please let me know so we can, according to them, they're going to address it. So let's see what happens there. But that's what was told to me, and this is supposed to happen over the next few weeks.
Did you forget Utica?
I did not forget Utica. I said Utica.
We mentioned
Utica. Yeah, I said Utica corridor, right? Avenue G, the Church Avenue corridor, the Nostrand Avenue corridor, which is absolutely horrific, and of course the Clarendon Road corridor. Those are some horrible, absolutely horrible. I don't even know how these businesses. It boggles my mind that if you have a business, you have so much trash in front of if you just kept your own in front of your business clean, in front of your location where you are, and maybe even on the gutters, pay somebody to do that. If you did that every day, it wouldn't be as bad. But it's horrible, absolutely horrible. I mean, to the point where I don't even want to walk down the street because I fear for the vermin jumping on my leg. I'm telling you, it's that
Yes,
bad.
I
So
agree.
yes, I'm telling you, it's absolutely crazy. So this is what he said he's going to do. I spoke to him. What's today? I spoke to him. Actually, I spoke to him last week, Thursday. I had the conversation with him. So he said he's rolling this out over the next several weeks. So I will send you guys the email that was sent to me. So he is the contact as well that we can utilize for our community, because yeah, it's crazy. And of course, we're heading into the summer, and you know it ain't getting no better. So you got people doing all kinds of stuff and cooking on the street and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so I talked to him about all of that. I talked to him about all of that. Yeah, I did. I talked about the cooking on the street, the grease that's in the pit that they set up. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's just nonsense. But I will send you the email that as a follow up to everybody, so you'll have all of the information. So yes, someone else had their hand up. Yes? No? Oh yeah, sorry. It was Hazel. Hazel.
I'm still waiting for I've given up on you and my meeting. I'm going to
No,
take
you
another
shouldn't.
course.
Let me tell you why. And this is why I waited. I waited to make sure that it was on record, right? I didn't want to call you because I wanted to explain to you exactly what happened. I reached out to Wyckoff, and I reached out for the date that we wanted. Actually, I was reached out for both days. It was June 4th and I think June 5th, to see if we can get that location to utilize the room. They came back and said to me that they were asking for they wanted me to come back to get back to them to know about the number of people and whether or not we bring in food so they can assess a charge to that.
It's exciting. Thank you so much.
Now that kind of surprised me because
that's weird because I used the room on Saturday.
Huh?
That's weird because I used the room on Saturday.
That was my thinking. I was like, well, Hazel's used the room in the past, and it's a community room. I did not understand why they were asking for that. And it was Isabella, I think, who had sent over the email to me. So I was a bit shocked by that. So I was like, well, first of all, we don't have any money, so we're not paying for a room that the community should be using for free. We're coming to conduct business, and so I didn't understand that, and I really wanted to have a conversation with Melissa because because that was kind of weird to me, asking for money. It's just weird, you know. I didn't understand that. But either way, I still want to. I think what we should do, I'm going to speak to Melissa directly about it. I'll have a conversation with her directly. And I still want to do it. I still want to do a date and get those guys over there. So I haven't forgotten about you. And it's just that annoyed me a lot. That I was like, are you serious? Have you ever paid for the room? The use of the room?
No.
Have they ever asked you for the money?
No.
I don't understand that. That's why I couldn't understand that.
I think Allison had something there, and she had a fee, but that was an event. Like
that was an event, but we're not. This is a meeting. This is a community meeting, so I didn't understand.
I had a meeting Saturday, and I had food.
Wow, that's crazy. All right. Well, I'm going to go back again, and I'll reach out to Melissa tomorrow.
But I dealt
and
with
perhaps
Melissa.
Maybe you.
Yeah.
I would probably recommend maybe you, Melissa, and I should get on the phone together and have a conversation, because that's weird to me. But I have not forgotten you. Yes, ma'am. I have not forgotten. And I think, Marguerite, is your hand up from something that you had from the last time?
No, it's new.
Oh,
new.
Okay, go ahead.
New old business.
You and then Dorothy.
What?
It's you and then Dorothy.
Oh, okay.
Gordon.
So there's a situation that I think I would like us to look into. Still over in the same area where the club is, but now they're having these events out in the yard at the Bracci fence, and I think we spoke about it before.
Yeah, we did.
But Miss Farah looked into it, and she said that they're using the license from the Island Seas Lounge. So they're using a liquor license, the SLA license for the lounge, to have the these events in the yard. If I got that straight, I think that's what she said because she
Wait,
emailed me.
I can
So,
provide a little bit more clarity on the situation if you guys would allow it.
Yeah, go
yes,
right ahead.
please.
Yeah, go right ahead, Farah.
Okay, great. So Marguerite came to me like maybe a month ago in regards to some concerns raised about loud music and disturbances stemming from an event held at 1440 Utica Avenue, which is known as Brocky Fencing. This is just to give people like a little bit of a catch up so we're all on the same page.
Right.
So we reached out to NYPD, who said that the event organizers secured the necessary paperwork to continue hosting events at that location in the future. So I reached out to SLA to confirm whether or not they have all the required permits and to maybe provide some insight into the location and what we should do if the continued concerns about loud music, if the concerns about loud music and disturbances persist.
Right.
So I got a response from the regional director of RCB, and they basically told us that this location, 1440, along with the location of Island Scene Lounge, which is the applicant. So Island Sea Lounge is 1438 Utica Avenue.
Right.
And Brocky Fencing is 1440 Utica Avenue. So two different businesses, but for some reason their SLA application has them as together. So I spoke to
well, it's just owned by the same.
I spoke to my contact at the SLA to clarify on some clarity on how an applicant could get a permit for a location outside of their regular business location and how the application, like what the application process is for an alternate location and why they didn't reach out to our community board. We are waiting from a response from SLA to get more clarity on the situation. And from there, I think we can maybe talk future plans about mediation or maybe discussing with the SLA about the ongoing complaints and such. But first, I would like to get some more information on why or how they were able to get a permit for these two locations, and then we can proceed with further action.
Yeah,
Have
so
you CC'd me also? Have you guys CC'd me as well on the email? Because I don't remember seeing anything on that.
I copied you on my last email, Ms. Farah. I'm not sure, but I think I did. But I just want to piggyback on that. The license, the indoor license for Island Sea Lounge is, the address says on it 1438/1440. And that's the SLA, the liquor license, but it's for the indoor establishment, which is the restaurant.
Right.
And it's for one bar in that restaurant. So that's, so that's part of the problem, that it's the two addresses have the license, but it's an indoor license. So even if they're using the outdoor space, which is 1438 or whatever, they if that's the license they're using, then that's obviously not legal. So I guess we need to find out what their response is. But to me, it seems like that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me either, but it doesn't. I mean, because there are two different locations on the application. And if it's an indoor, if you have an indoor license, a license to sell alcohol indoors, right? Is that what we're talking about, right? And if you're outside, is there a bar? I'm trying to understand, is there a bar outside?
No, it's a separate event from the restaurant. So it's not even like they're hosting a separate event. So it's not like the restaurant is now spread to outside and they're just using outside. It's separate
These are
event.
just somebody else. Right. This is just somebody else who's outside doing whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, so that's important too, because the license for the restaurant is under Mr. Patrick Clark.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know what the lessons for the license outside, how they got that permit, who's got that permit, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I could, you know what I could do is, I think I have Mr. Clark's,
no.
I think I have Mr. Clark's, information, because that's, Patrick Clark, right? Yeah. I that's kind of weird to me, to get some clarity on this. And then we also need to go and do some investigation with the SLA, because what it sounds to me is that it sounds to me like they're doing some, possibly doing some underhanded stuff, where they're sort of utilizing the license undercover for Island Seas. Not saying that's exactly what's happening, but it there's a possibility that it could be happening, but we need to do a little bit more investigating on that end to see. So, but Farah,
Yeah,
thank
and
you for the background.
I'm sorry, I keep talking, I'm sorry. But the other thing was that they were getting temporary, what do you call that, a temporary permit for public assembly, TPA or something? And the other question is, if that was the case, how are they getting it for every single weekend? And, you know, I don't think that that's possible.
I don't think it's possible either.
We're going to have a block party, and it's taken us a month to get the application for a block party. How are they getting this permit every weekend?
Yeah.
To hold an event outside every weekend.
Right, and I was hoping that Detective Skinner or Detective Pierre would have been on tonight to provide some clarity, but they're not. They're probably dealing with the protests and all that stuff too. So I can follow up with them. But we definitely need to. There's some answers to some of these questions that we absolutely need to get responses to. So I can definitely follow up. Marguerite, please make sure that any of the correspondence that and Farah also, when we send over to the SLA, that I'm CC'd on it, so I'm aware. You know, this way we can kind of make sure that we're all up to speed and we all kind of, you know, because I know that this is an ongoing situation. There's a lot of moving parts and continuously comes up with things that change all the time. So we just want to make sure that we do that. All right. Okay, great. So with that being said, are there any last? I think we were just on the unfinished business. Anything else, guys, that we need to talk about on unfinished business?
I pretty much hit it,
okay.
Except for you.
So let me just.
Well, I have my hand up. I'm sorry.
Who's that?
That's Dorothy. I had my hand up with something.
Oh, hi, Dorothy. Okay, yes, sorry.
Yeah,
yes,
I had my hand with something you said like 5 minutes ago as I was waiting. But you had mentioned about businesses and the grease and the food or whatever. But I'm sure everyone see that advertisement now that it's illegal to have. There's no public alcohol consumption and no obstruction of sidewalk with chairs and tables and no barbecue grills, etc. And it's you know, Administrative Code 24-149. I have a question about that. Do the businesses know about that? I happen to bump into it on social media and I've been sharing it, but do people know? Because I know a neighbor said that on Church Avenue, I believe, she saw the cops come and take away those, what do you call it? I'm Jamaican, I should know this. The big grills, the big barbecue drum thingies. Don't tell mother I said that.
The smokers, the jerk smokers. Yeah.
And they took away the smoker and speakers. Do the businesses know that it's illegal? Because I know that's a lot of people's like business, especially during the summer, to do that. And now they're just sort of like removing it. So yeah.
Well, that's a very good question. I would answer that as a no. They probably do not. And this is where we come in as a committee, right? We can send out, and I send out tons of emails. You guys are sending because you guys are on it. To let our small business knows about the changing in regulations when it comes to small business. So that is something that we should definitely do. I think, and as this is something that that I do separately and apart, is provide what we call a legislative report as it relates to a particular industry, as it relates to business. I think that would be a great thing for us to have in our repertoire that we can send out to our small business owners, but also to the community. It would involve a little bit more work on our part to making sure that we look at the city council and what they do and that kind of thing. But put it out every month because there are legislation that changes every month. That is something that we could actually start doing for the 2025-2026 thing. So I think that would be great. You know, but we could definitely do that. I think that would be. But in answer to your question, no, I don't believe that all of them know that. I don't believe so at all.
But Hassan, isn't it supposed to be for them that if they were to want to have those seats and chairs that they have to put in for the request and get the application fee? So like it's the new law, like that's the reason for the dining out now, because you're paying, you're going to the Department of Transportation, who then will assign you these locations. And I think maybe that's something that you can spread out if they're not, because I could have sworn that the Small Better Business Bureau was sending out these emails and letters to business owners.
Yes, ma'am. Khadija, you're absolutely right. 100%. In fact, the reason why aunts and uncles was on our agenda tonight was because they're applying for their outdoor dining application. So the application has come in, and I guess I'll send it over to you guys just so you can see what the city's been doing, because this is more of a newer sort of thing that they've been done. It's been passed by the city council, but the Department of Transportation is doing it now. So there's all these parameters, but you can see the application, so you're very familiar with it, because these are going to be coming in with not only our new people but also our renewals. So I'll send you that. I got the application pretty late. I think it was last week we got it. But that's something that we should be renewing anyway, or reviewing anyway. So when I send it over to you, I won't send any proprietary information, just to make sure that I put that on record.
Can you send us the legislation, the number of that legislation also?
Yeah. Also, just to let you guys know, like, what it is that the Department of Transportation is overseeing it. But it's a private organization that is actually the business owners who do apply pay that monthly. The only backlash with it is that they are not required to do cleaning. That is something and we as even though it's in the public setting, we as if we're not patrons there, we couldn't sit on it, like it's becoming more restrictive.
Right.
So these were some of the pushbacks that they had when they did the hearing, but they passed that bill. But I can post the bill inside the chat and give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Go right ahead, Khadija. I appreciate you doing that, because you're absolutely right. Part of our mandate, guys, is also to make sure that not only are we up on the new regulations and whatnot, but also the businesses at least are aware. So if we send out, and that could be part of our newsletter when we send it out. Well, I do a pretty good job of that, because I do try to make sure that's in there. But now that we're adding, we've added the business owners that are going to be on the website pretty soon. That's an area that another page that we could talk about adding, just so the full board is aware of what the new regulations and all of that as well. So we have to make sure that we do more due diligence on our end. But there's a lot and the regulations change all the time. They really do. So as a business owner, it's very, very difficult to keep up. It is, and it's extraordinary. But if we can help with that process to help educate us. Oh, thank you, Khadija. You're the best. To help us, as well as educate, the small business owner, as well as our general board members as well. That would be great. So definitely, thank you so much for that. But I think that's something that we could probably institute. Just have a legislative report once a month about the regulations that affect small business, and we can put that out across the board. It can be part of our regular things that we send out. It's one more thing to read, but it's something that gives you a heads up on, so you're aware, our community's aware, and our business owners are aware as well. So thank you guys for bringing that up. Okay, great. So with that being said, I don't think that, I had one last thing. Please, Commerce Subcommittee, I'm going to be sending over a text and an email, okay, to see if we can get together so we can start to pull together the East Flatbush Restaurant Week, if you don't mind, and also discuss our other things that we need to be discussing. So I will be sending that out. Please, if you have it, if you don't, the dates that I put out, proposed for the meeting, if you have a problem with them, just tell me no and propose a new date so we can all get on the same page relatively quickly, because we need to have that meeting. Okay, thank you very much. So with that being said, I think we have come to the conclusion at the end of our meeting. I have to say, before I ask for an adjournment, let me say, and I want to say this publicly, Farah, I want to thank you so much for all of your support this year with the committee and all of the changes that we've been having to go through, and all of the stuff that's been happening with commerce, and just being there, being a very rock solid person that we can go to, somebody who's willing to be nimble enough to be able to change things and have the skills and the expertise that you've had to be able to update things and whatnot to keep things moving and flowing. I just want to let you know how much I appreciate that. And I'm sure I echo that sentiment with the committee. Can I get you guys? Am I right? You've been awesome.
Yes.
So I want to thank you for all of your hard work. Yeah, I want to thank you for all of your hard work. Dealing with us, I know it's not always easy,
yes,
but it's just that this committee loves our community so much, and they do love our business community as well. But they just want to make sure that everybody and everything is fair, and that's why I love working with them. They're amazing group of talented people. So I just want to make sure I put that on record, how much we appreciate all that you've done, Farah. And I would not have been able to get through this year without your support and assistance. And thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys are gonna make me blush. Stop it.
That's all right.
I really
That's right.
appreciate it.
We don't mean to.
It's been a
just wanna
fun
make
for
sure.
getting you guys as a committee. You know how much I had to fight Miss Frazier to get this committee.
I know.
I
I
love
know.
you guys. You know, I appreciate
Good,
the
I know.
passion, and it's guys, people like you who keep our community, you know, safe and well
Yeah.
taken care of. And I really appreciate all the work that you guys have done.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And we thank you. And we appreciate you too. And committee, you guys already know how I feel about you. Even though we are out for the summer, anything that we do, if we're on-site visits, sometimes our business owners don't really, are not available to come in. Well, put it to you this way. I've got a couple of businesses that want to see us, but they can't do it in June. They want to do it in July. So I'm up for it too. I don't have a problem with it. So I'll reach out to the committee. We generally, as a committee, under my leadership, I know whenever I've been the committee chair, we've never taken really a whole couple of months off. We've always done something, So, so we'll be doing that and continuing that tradition. Hopefully I'll be back as chair as well. But I want to thank you guys for all of everything. I just want to make sure I make those comments public at our last meeting together as a committee. Okay?
So
Make sure. And I hope everybody comes back I hope everybody comes back next year for our meeting so we can get additional work done and continue to do the good work that we've been doing in this community. All right.
Can I add to since
Yes,
this is
you
our
can.
last meeting?
Yes,
And
go
I'm
right
sorry
ahead.
it was not focused too much, but I have to say now that we're sending out all the, the hands clapping and appreciation. I also want to send out a great appreciation to Hazel Martinez. I have to say that she really and honestly looks after our little niche
She does.
here in the corner of Brooklyn.
She does.
And she really fights for things that she knows would improve our lives. And she's always looking out for things that are happening
Mhm.
and informing you, Hassan, and
Mhm.
really, and I think that if we have, and I'm sure we do, but I can only speak from my experience being part of the 4-in-1 Block Association with Hazel.
Yeah.
She is one of the stalwarts in terms of really looking out for the community. So I want to publicly thank her for all the hard work that she's doing and she continues to do.
Absolutely. I second and third that. Absolutely.
Yes.
Hazel, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't say it any better myself. Absolutely. You guys have been great, but and I appreciate all of the work that you continue to do. And you guys alert me to things even when I'm like, what's happening over here? What's going on? What? And so I mean, I appreciate that, and I want to thank you guys for continuing to do that. So never feel that you can't send me something or I'm too busy. Ping me. But if I don't respond right away, please, I have no problem with getting a call or a text or an email. But I'll be more than happy to get what you guys think, because I always want to know what's happening, in the community as well.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you ever find out what happened on Clarkson Avenue when I gave you that address?
Yes, yes, I have that. Yes, I do have that, Adele. Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
ever find
Yes.
out anything about it?
No, I didn't have it. I haven't had a chance to find out anything about it, but I'm going to though. But it is definitely, I did get it though from you.
Yes, 'cause
Yeah,
that
yes,
was
ma'am.
different.
Yes,
Even
ma'am.
I wanted to know.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I will. And George, yes,
Hassan?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to follow up on Sonia Clark regarding Hazel Martinez, because
Yeah.
yes, that is true what you said, and I don't know how many of you know that Hazel was cited. She got an award from the Brooklyn White Senior Council last
No,
month.
she didn't tell us that.
Yes,
I
for
didn't
her
know that.
work with the community. So now she's recognized borough-wide and also statewide because it goes into the
Fantastic.
senior,
Fantastic.
the statewide senior council newsletter.
Wow. Okay. See,
So
Hazel.
congratulations again to Hazel.
Congratulations. I didn't know that.
Oh,
I'm not
thank you.
surprised, but I didn't know that. Wow. And see, and she doesn't toot her own horn. That's Hazel, though. That is definitely her.
That's her.
That is definitely her.
Exactly. She does
That is
not.
definitely her. She
No.
never does that. She absolutely, yeah. Wow. Hazel, girl, please, you got to share the music. You got to share the good news, man. Every time something.
Yes.
Share that. We like to hear that stuff.
I have pictures from the event, including a proclamation from the borough president and everything.
Please
So
send it over so we can put it in the newsletter, man. You send it over. We can definitely do that.
I have to ask for permission if it's okay. If it's okay to send it out, Hazel.
Oh no. You can do whatever.
It's up to you, Hazel.
Okay. Yeah, no, because I've been meaning to ask you, because that's why I have not sent it out to anyone. I have not sent it out because I want, and I keep forgetting to ask you. But yes, the picture with a hard citations and proclamations.
Please send it out. I'm asking, please, Hazel. Is it okay for George to send it out?
He has about 100 to 1.
That's good. Is it okay? Yes.
She didn't tell us.
Come on, Hazel. Is it okay for us to send it out?
Yeah, one picture.
Oh God. All right. George, one picture. All right, fine. Thank you, Hazel. I appreciate it. Jeez,
it would have to be more than one, because you have one with the borough president, and then we have the others. You know, maybe the group. Yeah. So
well, let her pick the
George,
pictures
whatever.
she wants.
You can
let her
handle
pick the
that.
pictures that she wants, but please send it over to myself and Farah so we can get it in the newsletter. Okay? Because we love to make sure that that's out. I didn't even know that. Wow. Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. So I'm going to let you go. It is now 9:26. We have been on the phone for a long time. Can I ask for an adjournment to our meeting, please? Can someone make a motion to adjourn?
The last one. Adjournment, please.
You got to make the motion.
Motion to
Adele?
adjourn. Last
Okay.
meeting.
Is there a second?
I
second.
Khadijah Lowell.
I third.
Khadijah. All right, thank you guys. All right, awesome. So please look out for my emails, and thank you guys so much again for all of your hard work. Commerce Subcommittee, please please respond to the text and email I sent you so we can get this work done. And thank you very much. And if you guys can all come out to the resource fair, I think it's going to be great. All of our partners are there, so I'm going to see if we can have a table and be able to be there as well in that capacity also. So. But thank you guys, okay? And I will let you go. Have a wonderful night, and I will see some of you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good evening, everybody.
Good
Mr.
evening.
Bakrdine, I have some good news.
You.
As I was doing, as we were doing the meeting, I was also doing a lot of HTML in the background. And I did complete some of the website, particularly the drop-down menu. So
good. Okay, cool.
If you want to take a look, I can email it to you now or tomorrow morning when it's fully deployed.
No, send it to me now. Send it to me now. I'll take a look at it tonight. That'll be great. And we can send it over, and then we can send it over to. Oh, you know what you do? Send it to send it to the people who are on the Commerce Subcommittee. So Adele, Ms. Bellin,
So what I'm sending to you guys now is basically the finalized draft. The only thing that needs to be done is deploying it to the actual website. I'm not doing that as of yet, but I would love for you guys to take a look, and I want you guys to know HTML is, I have a lot of experience in coding. I majored in coding. HTML is my least favorite language. So changing stuff is a little bit like, you know, the way you guys feel about WebEx is the way I feel about HTML. So like, I know there might be some, oh, I want it to be this way, but this is the best I could do with the resources I have. So please take a look. I'll let you know if any adjustment, if the adjustment suggested can happen, but hopefully we can have this deployed by the end of the week.
Okay, great. No problem. Thank you so much.
And also,
Thank you so much, Farah. All right.
Can I have a question, Farah? If I can be added to the email chain, because I don't get the emails.
For Commerce?
Oh,
Yeah.
Miss Gordon, you don't get the emails? I thought you were.
Not,
okay. Yeah.
Not at all. No.
Sorry.
So
Miss
sorry.
Gordon, I can. Do you want to be a committee member? If you want to just, if you want to be a committee member for Commerce, if you go on our website, particularly in the contact section, there is an application. It's completely online. You submit it, you will be automatically enrolled into the committee.
Okay, great.
You'll be in our mailing list. It's very simple.
I thought I did it already. Okay, no worries. I'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
No problem. Have a good evening.
All right, everybody.
Good evening. Thanks so much.
Have a great night. All right. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.